Certainly can. 100 to 30 favourite was Lahu for Ross Orion and Dave Evans. Ross Orion, good ride that. He's got some nice.
So there goes the bell for the jockeys to mount for our opening race, the Quinbed Handicap. 6 runners over a mile, confirming number 7 does not run. And the horse who went to post early, number 4, Stan, is now getting mounted and about to come out onto the track. First one to come out onto the track in the pink colours is Cavalluccio, Mark Green on board for informed trainer Alice Haynes. Been in good form this horse. Where's the sheepskin noseband, the pink colours, Cavalluccio. Number 1, cantering down past the winning line. Next to come out in the black and yellow colours is Vitra Light, Rab Havlin riding for the Newmarket trainer Sean Woods. There he is. He's favourite at the moment, trading 7 to 4. Number 3, Vitra Light in the black and yellow. Next one to go down in the light and dark blue is 1111. Lewis Edmonds riding for trainer Jessica Macy. 1111 in the blue colours. Next one to go down in the black cross belts and the half sleeves is Bullet, Joanna Mason riding for the Newmarket trainer William Jarvis. That's number 5, Bullet. And the last one to come out onto the track in the green and red stripes with the blue sleeves is Brazen Arrow, Kieran O'Neill on board for local trainer Christine Dunnett. The horse wears the cheek pieces, number 6. So there we have 6 runners making their way to the start. The trip is a mile. This is a Quinbed Handicap. And the favourite, 7 to 4 in the ring, is Vitra Light. Cavalluccio is 9 to 4. 1111, 7 to 2. Stan is trading at 10 to 1. Bullet is 10 to 1. And Brazen Arrow, the outsider, at 18 to 1. So the runners making their way to the start. And the favourite in the betting ring is number 3, Vitra Light, trading at 7 to 4. So the runners making their way to the start for our first race here at Great Yarmouth today. And there's one non-runner in the first race, number 7, does not run. That means we have 6 runners cantering down to the 1 mile start. And there's a nice close-up of the black and yellow colours of Vitra Light. This is the favourite, trading at 7-4. Cavalluccio 9-2, 11-11, 7-2. Stan is 10-1, Bullet is 10-1, and Brazen Arrow 16-1. So this is the favourite, Rab Havlin on board for trainer Sean Woods. And this horse used to be trained in Hong Kong, but made a successful British debut at Chelmsford a couple of weeks back. Won nicely. That was on the all-weather. Now on soft going here at Yarmouth. We had quite a bit of rain, but it's been dry all day so far. It's quite a cold day, but this is the favourite, Vitra Light, who is arriving at the start for our first race. The second favourite is Cavalluccio. I like Cavalluccio. I know he's got top weight. He wears the pink colours. Mark Crean on board for Alice Haynes. He's won 2 of his last 3. Both of those wins have been on the all-weather, so how will he go? There he is in the pink colours with the sheepskin noseband on the left. I think if Cavalluccio does what he did at Chelmsford last time out, I think he'll take the beating. Others in the light blue colours, 11-11, Lewis Edmonds on board. He's a consistent sort. He was 3rd at Nottingham last time out, so he would have a decent sort of chance. The big outsider, Brazen Arrow, at 16-1. Kieran O'Neill on board for local trainer Chris Dunnett. That was 4th of 10 runners here 2 weeks ago. Difficult horse to win with, but always knocking at the door. And there's a horse called Bullet in this. Where's the black cross belts? Jonah Mason on board for William Jarvis. He won 2 last year. So it'll be interesting to see how he can get on here. That's the crossbelts of Bullet just arriving at the mile start. It's the straight mile here. The last one to arrive is Brazen Arrow, who wears the cheek pieces. So Vitra Light is the favourite. He's certainly impressed going down. But I was most impressed with Cavalluccio, the way this horse fought back to win at Chelmsford last time out, and I think that horse has got a good chance. There's Bullet, a nice close-up of Jonah Mason, top lady jockey. So 6 runners arriving at the start for our first race here at quite a cold but dry Yarmouth on the east coast of England, and the going is soft all round. We're ready to load for race 1. So the horses have arrived at the start, the 6 runners. Any more bets before they start loading up? Vitra Light steady at 7-4. Cavalluccio 9-4. 11-11, 7-2. Stan is 10-1. Bullet 11s. And Brazen Arrow, the outsider, at 18-1. Any more bets? Vitra Light trading favourite, 7-4. Right, looks as if we're just about ready to load. Any more bets on the Quinbet handicap? First one to be led forward is Bullet in the crossbelts. Jonah Mason going into stall 1 on the far side. Next one to be led forward is the favourite, Vitra Light. Rab Havlin on board, going into stall 5. Pink colours, Cavalluccio, Mark Crean, into 3. Now in the dark grey colours with the blue hoop sleeves, Stan, Jack Mitchell. 2 to go. Thanks, big fella. Good to be here. It's dry, but it's a little bit on the cold side, soft all round. 11-11, Lewis Edmonds on board, about to be put in to stall 6. The 5th of the 6 runners to be loaded up for this Quinbet handicap over a mile. And one to be put in, this is Brazen Arrow, Kieran O'Neill. That's it, stand by. They're all in. They're off. So here we go, and a pretty level break, and as we thought, Brazen Arrow, one of the first to go on in the cheek pieces. In second place in the black and yellow, we've got Vitra Light. Up on the far side in those hoop sleeves, we've got Stan. Pulling quite hard on the left in the light blue is 11-11. Then the pink colours of Cavalluccio, and on the far side in the cross belts, that is Bullet. So at the end of the first 2 furlongs, 6 furlongs left to run in our opening Quinbet handicap. And the locally trained Brazen Arrow takes them along under Kieran O'Neill. On the far side, Bullet, Jonah Mason. Second. Third is Vitralite, Rab Havlin. Fourth this side, 11-11, Lewis Edmonds. And behind this one, we got Stan and the pink colours of Cavalluccio, Mark Crean. Just the back marker at the moment in the sheepskin noseband. Coming down towards the halfway stage, rejoining the racecourse proper. And Brazen Arrow has the lead. On the far side, it's Stan in the dark blue hoop sleeves. Then the black and yellow of the favourite Vital Light. Then in fourth place, the crossbelts of Bullet. And the light blue this side, 11-11. And Cavalluccio is going to have to pass them all if Cavalluccio is going to win this again. Let's see what happens as they come down now towards the final 2.5 furlongs. Still Brazen Arrow goes well in the lead. Now Vitralite is pulled out stand side for a promising run. Then staying on the far side under pressure is Stan. Here comes Bullet with a good-looking run as well. But they've got to catch Brazen Arrow. Now Vitralite is asked the question. And Brazen Arrow on the far side in the cheek pieces, being joined now by Vitralite, who looms up alongside and now goes on at the distance now. And it's Vitralite, the favourite, who comes through to take it up. Brazen Arrow is second. Staying on from a long way back is Cavalluccio, but it's going to be too late. Vitralite is away and clear and is going to win this very nicely for Rab Havlin. Coming up to second, Cavalluccio, and in third, Brazen Arrow.
mares and one filly and Nicky. First one going out, one of the best turned out, didn't she? Number 7, Calpaga, wearing a sheepskin noseband. Yellow colours for the light green cap, check sleeves. Number 2 is the well-fancied Philippa Sue, purple with the pink cross of Lorraine Dablow sleeves, pink cap of a purple star. Keelan Woods for Fergal O'Brien. Runners this time will start down the back straight. Number 11, Sadie Hill in the maroon and light blue Diablo jacket. Ben Post for Alistair Ralph. Also going down is the grey. Number 3, Oui Cherie, yellow with the purple star. Ned Fox claiming 5 for Venetia Williams. 2 is Jane Duberlay, who has the mauve jacket with the grey braces, grey cap, winning colours, of course, earlier for Ryan Potter. And his owner, Finn Lambert on board, taking 5 off the back. Six is Cotton End. It's a distinctive grey mare, red with the white stars, black and white striped sleeves, black cap, white star. Sean Houlihan for Sheila Lewis. Number 9 is the filly Nicky, red with the yellow cross of Lorraine. Yellow armlets on the sleeves and a light green cap. Sean Bowen for, this time, his father, Peter Bowen. Number 10 is Get Baz Out of Here, red with the green star, hoop sleeves, green cap, red star. Mitchell Bastion for Tom Gretton, also nose banded. So the runners making their way down to the back straight, as you can see on the big screen. This is the Oil for Wales Mares Handicap Hurdle Race. Over 2 miles and 6 furlongs this time. Non-runners again, numbers 4, 5 and 8. And they're at the post. Betting is very competitive for this race. Wide open. Favourite is Nicky at 11 to 4. Philippa Sue 4 to 1. Oui Cherie 4 to 1. Jane Duberlay at 6. Calpaga 6. 10 to 1 then brings in Get Baz Out of Here. And then bigger odds the other two, but fairly competitive betting heat. Runners down at the start. So flag up. And they're off and racing. So racing down the far side for the first time of this 2 miles 6 furlong trip in the Oil for Wales Mares Handicap Hurdle. And these 8 runners are well grouped up as they head towards the first. Oui Cherie just about in front with Jane Duberlay for company. Also Calpaga out wide in the light green cap, followed through by Sadie Hill. And towards the inside is Nicky in the light green cap, Sean Bowen, who seeks a second win on the afternoon. Followed through by Cotton End, the grey towards the inside, black cap with the white star. Also towards the back is Get Baz Out of Here, red with the green star, horse nose banded. And the back marker is Philippa Sue, who was untidy at the back of the field. Didn't jump that with much fluency under Keelan Woods. They've taken the first 2 and they're fairly well grouped up. It's Oui Cherie, And Ned Fox, who has a fractional lead to Jane Du Burley. Ryan Potter looking for a second winner this afternoon in second place. Then out wider is Cal Parger, who was impressive when winning at Hereford last time. She also won the best turned out here. She's on the outside of Nikki, who's grabbed the rail here. The 4-year-old under Sean Bowen, followed through then by Sadie Hill, who's on the outside of Get Baz Out of Here, Mitchell Bastion, followed then by Cotton End and Sean Houlihan, and the backmarker Philippa Sue. His one win came at Hereford at the back of the field as they make their turn into the home straight first time. 3 flights down this part of the course. They've jumped the first 2. So Hui Sherry leading from Jane Du Burley in second. Hui Sherry was nimble over that, a little bit quicker than Jane Du Burley. Out wider is Cal Parger. Nikki's towards the far side, who's won a couple of times on the flat, looking for a first win over Timber today. Tracked through by Cotton End, who has for company Get Baz Out of Here. Then comes Sadie Hill, looking for a first victory under Ben Post as they take the next flight down the home straight. Cotton End didn't get that high. Backmarker is Philippa Sue, ridden with restraint under Keelan Woods. Making their way towards flight number 5. Hui Sherry, Ned Fox still leading from Jane Du Burley in Finn Lambert in second place. Big jump on the outside by Cal Parger. More or less a line of 3. Nikki's towards that far side with Sadie Hill tucked in behind runners. Then in behind that we have Get Baz Out of Here. Philippa Sue getting a little bit closer on the outside and Cotton Ends on the inside. There's no more than 3-4 lengths separating these 8 fillies and mares as they race out onto their final circuit. They're very well bunched indeed then. Still leading is Hui Sherry. From in second place, Jane Du Burley, who's right up in distance today. Out wider is Cal Parger with Sadie Hill. On that one's inside Nikki, saving ground. That one tracked through by Cotton End, held up at the back of the cluster. Get Baz Out of Here, and out wider Philippa Sue, just got that little bit closer. So well grouped as they head down the back straight. They still have 6 flights of hurdles left to jump, and it's Hui Sherry with a neck advantage to Jane Du Burley in second place. Then comes Nikki, who is in third position with Cal Parger out wide in between Sadie Hill. Cotton End is on the inside of that one as they take the first down the back straight. In behind that, Get Baz Out of Here was just for a couple of strides ridden along there. Out wider is Philippa Sue. Still well grouped, still Hui Sherry has the advantage. In front, has won here previously. To in second place, Jane Du Burley. Then Cal Parger in third position. Philippa Sue's moved out wider. On the inside, Nikki. Sadie Hill alongside Get Baz Out of Here. And Cotton End still right up there on the inside as they head to the final flight down the back straight 4 from the finish. Still a very tightly grouped field. Hui Sherry from Jane Du Burley in second. Nikki's on the inside. Out wider, Cal Parger still very much in touch as they take the next flight down the back. In behind Sadie Hill with Get Baz Out of Here. Philippa Sue's out wider and just getting a little bit more cover behind Cal Parger. Saving ground on the inside, still Cotton End in behind Nikki. So still in front is Hui Sherry and Ned Fox, who has the advantage. Now the one who's made a bit of ground up into second is Sadie Hill. Out wider, Cal Parger. As the one who's quickly dropping away is Jane Du Burley. That one's dropped to the tail of the field very quickly. Now passed by Cotton End. On the inside, Nikki still there in fourth position with Get Baz Out of Here. Philippa Sue comes next. Cotton End being pushed along to try and close on this 6. We're beginning to get away. Then Cotton End and Jane Du Burley, who's tailed off. So heading into the home straight. Hui Sherry still has the lead here, still travelling pretty well, but plenty of challengers. Cal Parger still goes quite strongly on the outside. Sadie Hill's in between, very much in touch as they head towards 3 from the finish. Philippa Sue, then Nikki made a mistake. In behind, Get Baz Out of Here, being pushed along as Jane Du Burley's been pulled up. Making their way towards 2 out. Hui Sherry being tackled by Sadie Hill, the strong travelling Cal Parger. In behind, Get Baz Out of Here is trying to get on terms. Then comes Nikki and Philippa Sue, who's not found much for pressure. Heading towards 2 out. Cal Parger and Sadie Hill have taken over from Hui Sherry. In behind that, Get Baz Out of Here. Philippa Sue, then Nikki heading towards the final flight. Cal Parger, but Sadie Hill will not lie down. Heading towards the final flight. Cal Parger on the near side. Good jump by Sadie Hill on the far side. She's fighting back all the time. Sadie Hill and Cal Parger are battling it out. Gets Baz Out of Here into third and staying on as well. Cal Parger and Sadie Hill. There's nothing in this. Cal Parger and Sadie Hill, who's coming back again. And it's very tight. It's on the head bob. Sadie Hill and Cal Parger. It's one for the judge. In third place then was Get Baz Out of Here.
Boy trying to go for that rails run. They're inside the final furlong. Epictetus just out in front, but now Silver Knot to the outside looks a big threat. Silver Knot edging it now from Epictetus, who's battling all the way to the line. It's Silver Knot from Epictetus.
That's for sure. I think 10 furlongs will be fine. Even as a physical horse, he doesn't strike out to be the type to go and stay further. He's quite a light horse. He's a good moving type of horse. He's not a real big strapping stayer. You know, he's quite compact and small, really. So pedigree and physicality suggest that a mile to 10 furlongs is where he's going to be best at. And if he did step back, I wouldn't remotely be surprised with that either.
Yeah, just looking at what 30 Gosden said, we're stepping back to a mile and a quarter shouldn't be a problem. Usually a solid trial, which will give him a feel of the track at Epsom. So depending on what he does here, obviously that is on their agenda. The time for the first was 4.87 outside. I know that's on the straight course, which is slightly better, but soft, good to soft in places. I suppose that's there or thereabouts, more on the soft side. But
yeah, I think
it's not as bad as
I
was expecting it to be when I got here.
No, it's definitely not heavy, but I think it's certainly on the slope. I'm not sure there was many good to soft patches. I think you'd be pretty spot on thinking it's about soft all around. I'd have said. Imagine that's what the jockeys feel. You know, it was pretty wet yesterday. The wind has dried it out a bit. Luckily, it didn't look too tacky. It was flicking up a good bit, but I think it's soft ground is what we've got. But you know, it's still going to be testing enough, especially a mile and a quarter, and I imagine it'll be a evenly run type of race.
That is Storm Buster in shot, the Jeff Smith colours, who's stepping up to 10 furlongs. Think that'll be okay?
Yeah, he's a hard horse to judge, really, because he really didn't enjoy heavy ground in the Vertem Futurity at the back end of the year when he was well behind the favourite. So we've got to answer questions as to, was it the ground? Was he slightly below par at the back end of the year? I'm not too sure. He's a gorgeous horse. He really stood out in the paddock. To be honest, he was probably my pick of the paddock, if I'm being honest with you. So back on this ground is a question mark for me. Obviously, the trip is an unknown, but if he can leave that behind him, he had progressive form before that.
He was last, beaten 11.5 lengths, and I know that was a step up to Group 1 company, but the form prior to that, beaten by Isaac Shelby, One Nation, within 3 lengths of those, flying on as High Bank, and then beating High Bank 5 lengths.
Solid.
I think he's a good horse.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I'm hoping that it was just the fact that it was the back end of the year, and you know, maybe it was one run too many, because he was progressive before that, and he looked to be a horse that could step forward, and physically he looked a 3-year-old. You know, he's a strong horse, a son of Dabawi. He's just got to leave that behind him.
Expect Hadrianus to crack on here?
Yeah, he'll go forward, I would imagine. I don't think Frankie will be a million miles off the pace either. I think we'll just see a nice even gallop. William Buick, I imagine, will be setting the pace.
And he's on a horse who's just proving a little tricky. He was in the paddock, just a couple of moments where he tried to get away. Yeah, definitely. And he's thinking about this, and then that will just leave Think First to go in.
He got away with it last time because at Kempton it was so foggy we didn't know if any of them behaved or not.
I don't have a clue. Right, last one going forward ahead of the Blue Ribbon trial. Here's Ian Bartlett.
All in. Set. They're off. A mile and 2 furlongs is the trip here for this Weatherby's Digital Solutions Blue Ribbon trial. The black and white jacket of Hadrianus and the purple and light blue of Storm Buster, the first two to show out in front. They already established a 3-length advantage to favourite Epictetus, who runs in 3rd place and about 2 lengths behind him. To Think First in a dark jacket in the white colours of the one filly, Cite d'Or, who is on his outside. They have now completed 2 furlongs, and Storm Buster, Sheen Murphy and the purple and light blue established the lead of a little over a length. Best turned out winner Hadrianus, black and white colours, is running in 2nd. Market leader Epictetus, an almost all white jacket for Frankie Dettori, shows halfway down the field in 3rd place, but closer to the leading 2 than he was a furlong ago. Cite d'Or, white colours for Pierre-Louis Jamin, one off the rail, is just ahead of Think First and Ross Aram in dark blue as they begin their left-handed run past the 6 furlong pole, and they're heading downhill now towards the home turn. And it's Storm Buster, has the advantage with the Sheen Murphy to William Buick on Hadrianus running in second place. There is now only about a half length between them. A length and a half then to Epictetus against the running rail, and Cite d'Or is around the outside of him. And Think First continues to be the back marker as they now approach Tattenham Corner and head down inside the final half mile. Hadrianus coming on the left in the black to come and join Stormbuster as they move into the home straight. A length and a half behind these two Epictetus as they make their way towards the centre of the track. One from the left is the dark blue of Think First. On the extreme left is Cite d'Or. Heading down towards the final quarter mile now. The five are almost in line here. Epictetus on the right in the white. Picks up now, goes on to Hadrianus in second place. Stormbuster behind those in third, then Think First, and with Think First is Cite d'Or. They approach the final furlong. It's a two-length advantage for Epictetus out in front. Hadrianus in second. Cite d'Or is moved through into third place. Into the closing stages. Epictetus having to be ridden out here. Hadrianus in the black is mounting another challenge as they race towards the line. Epictetus wins narrowly, about 3 parts to Hadrianus, Cite d'Or, Think First, and Stormbuster.
Epictetus wins. I'm going to go with Ian's pronunciation there of where how he handles the syllables. Certainly better than me, and I want to say comfortable enough at the line. There was that moment where you thought Hadrianus was really going to give him something to think about, Megan, but he's kept on to score by a length or so, and I don't think Frankie Dettori was worried at any point of the race.
No, he's travelled into it nicely. He jumped off and looked like he wanted to be a little bit keen, but once Frankie got cover, he relaxed, and ultimately he still looks a horse with speed. A mile and a half is not going to be his game, in my opinion. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if he drops back down to the mile. He's not slow, that's for sure, and I know it's testing ground here today, but he's not slow, and you know, I think he was just about running out of fuel towards the line. I think, you know, stamina was just about there, but I'm not convinced he's staying further than this.
Well, there was that point where I think he put the race to bed, really, at sort of about the 2 to the 1, if you like, and just showed that turn of foot and class as well. It's whether or not he's tiring there. He has kept holding the runner-up, hasn't he? But with regards going over further, I think if you combine pedigree, what we see, and I don't think it's an obvious one necessarily. Handled the track fine, it seemed.
Yeah, he did handle the track fine, handled the ground fine as well, but like you said, between the 2 and the 1, the way he travelled into it and then quick and clear, it was his turn of foot that allowed him to nick those lengths on the rest, and rather than his stamina, I think. You know, I think the runner-up, Hadrianus, was closing because his stamina really kicked in, and I think he is a horse that will step up and trip and will be better, but he's run an absolute cracker to finish second on his only 3rd ever racecourse start and his first go on the turf.
Yeah, I thought that was impressive, the way he stayed on, and Cite d'Or, and that was much better from her, and having spoken to Harry beforehand, I think everyone will be really happy with that.
Yeah, that was a step right back in the correct